Hi there. This is a vocabulary routine lesson plan. So I base this off of a lesson that I've actually done with my class, or kind of a lesson. Sorry about my dog. That I've done with my class. And this is based off the anchor text of George's Secret Key to the Universe. So I'd begin the lesson saying that after just reading the chapter in our book, we're going to take a look at the target words. Um, Also, at this point, I would have students would be logged in on like a Chromebook or their iPad, whatever technology resources they have, because this is actually a Pear Deck interactive slide where I also have access to see what the students' responses are. So they'd be logged in at this point, and I'd say, so here's our first word. The story told us that he tried, move this, he tried closing his eyes and then opening them again to see if it was all some kind of horrible optical illusion. Okay, so let's say this word together, reading it in parts. So I would say, oops, I would say illusion, illusion, and the students would follow along. Okay, so I'd say, what's the word? Illusion. What's the word? Illusion. Okay, then I would go to the next slide where it says illusion is a noun. So illusion means a fantasy or mistaken idea. Kind of gives you that sense of seeing, hearing, or sensing things in a false way. So I would maybe give another example of that. The art gave me, or gave an optical illusion. And then I could maybe ask for volunteers to give an example. But what the main part of this is now on this slide, it's an interactive slide. So the students have the opportunity to draw a picture and give me a sentence using the word illusion. So I would give the instructions that your job now is to draw a picture that represents the word illusion and give me a sentence. Now, I would also be monitoring the screen at this point to see if individual students may need more support. So at this point, I could give a sentence starter to the students that would need that assistance. After students are done, I would then go back to our word, and I would also, this is something I've done, is I've also had students share out their examples, or I've even presented them on the board. And I would go back to the word and say, let's read it again. Illusion, illusion. Okay. What's the word? Illusion. What's the word? Illusion. Okay. So illusion means state of seeing or hearing, sensing things in a false way. Then I'd go to the next slide and I would say, here we have our next word. So this next word, let's read the parts and then blend together. Destructive. Destructive. What's the word? Destructive. What is the word? Destructive. So the example from our text says, like George's dad, his mom was a vegetarian, but George was sure he had heard her angrily mutter sausages under her breath when she was cleaning up after one of Freddie's more destructive outings. So what's our word? Destructive. Okay? Destructive is an adjective. An adjective causing great or irreparable harm or damage. So what's our word? Destructive. What does it mean? Causing great and irreparable harm or damage. So student's job at this point would be to draw a picture that represents destructive and use it in a sentence. Again, I can be on my computer at this time assessing students' responses, and I'd be able to give immediate corrective feedback to those who maybe were using it incorrectly, or give more support to the students who would need the extra support by providing sentence starters or kind of brainstorming with them. Then I would go back and say, All right, let's reread it. Destructive, destructive. What's our word? Destructive. What does destructive mean? Causing great and irreparable harm or damage. Okay, then we'd move on to the next word, and I would have the students, I would maybe read this part first. I just want to know why I can't go next door. George persisted. So persisted. Let's read the parts. Persisted. 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 Okay, what's the word? Persisted. Okay, persisted is an adjective. We have an adjective. It's to continue in a firm, steady way without stopping or lessening. Frank persisted. Frank is my dog. Frank persisted for another treat. Or let's see here, another example. My students persisted for more time outside. Okay, they continued in that firm way. So persisted. Then I'd give students the opportunity to draw their picture and write their sentence. So again, would be able to monitor on my screen the student responses. At the end, maybe have some share out. Then I'd go back. Persisted. Let's read the parts. Persisted. Persisted. What's the word? Persisted. What does it mean? To continue in a firm or steady way without stopping or lessening. And that is our vocabulary routine.